Today in Augusta, Maine, the federal government steps in to aid small businesses hit hard by a severe drought. I'm Garrett.
And I'm Leah. Welcome to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett in Augusta, Maine. First up, federal aid for Maine small businesses impacted by severe drought. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has declared Maine's drought a natural disaster. This led the Small Business Administration to announce emergency loans for small businesses and nonprofits across 9 Maine counties. Eligible entities can apply for loans up to $2 million, with interest rates as low as 4% for businesses and 3.6% for nonprofits. The aim is to help cover expenses like debts and unpaid bills due to drought impacts. These applications are open until June 1st, with a focus on supporting economic recovery.
That's pretty wild, right? Loans up to $2 million. It really shows how severe the drought's impact is. Supporting small businesses during these tough times is crucial. All right, let's roll on. Next up, Clinton man sentenced to 28 years for child sexual assault. Christopher Connors, a 39-year-old from Clinton, was sentenced to 28 years for sexually assaulting an 11-year-old boy. He was found guilty in September of gross sexual assault and unlawful sexual contact. The incident happened in June when the boy was staying overnight at Connors' home. The family praised the boy's bravery for reporting the crime. Connors' attorney argued for a lighter sentence, citing no prior charges in similar investigations. He also faces additional charges involving another boy.
Honestly, my heart goes out to the victim's family. The challenges they faced must have been immense. It's frustrating that there were previous investigations with no charges. I mean, it feels like a system failure, right? Okay, let's move on. Next up, Maine joins multi-state lawsuit against HUD over housing support cuts. Maine is part of a multi-state lawsuit challenging HUD's proposed cuts to long-term housing support. The lawsuit, filed in Rhode Island, accuses HUD of illegally limiting access to housing for those at risk of homelessness. The cuts would redirect resources to transitional housing, affecting over 1,200 Mainers. Attorney General Aaron Frey criticized the move, stating HUD violated its regulations by not engaging in rulemaking and lacking congressional authorization.
Yeah, I have to wonder about the logic behind those cuts. I mean, long-term housing is so crucial. And reducing assistance by 2/3 for 2026. That's a huge hit. Let's switch it up. Next up, manhunt underway after fatal crash on I-95 in Clinton. There's a manhunt going on after a fatal crash involving a rental van on I-95. The driver fled the scene after the crash, which happened around 7 a.m. The van veered off the road, struck a tree, and the passenger later died. Witnesses saw the driver, who had facial injuries and wore a dark hoodie, run into the woods. Despite the severity, no shelter-in-place order was issued.
That's so surprising. You'd think with a situation like that they'd issue a safety alert for the community. I mean, rural areas must be tough for law enforcement to manage these pursuits. All right, on to the next. Last up, opioid settlement brings $5 million to Androscoggin, Franklin, and Oxford counties. These counties are set to receive a combined $5 million from opioid settlements with pharmaceutical companies. This is part of Maine's $230 million windfall through 2038. The funds must be used for prevention, harm reduction, treatment, and recovery programs. County committees are responsible for fund allocation, and various projects have already received grants.
It's interesting that Oxford County, despite its lower population, is getting more funds than Androscoggin. But targeting support where the crisis hit hardest is crucial. It's about making a real impact.
And there we have it, full circle. That's it for today's Laid Back Local in Augusta, Maine. Thanks for tuning in, and make sure to join us tomorrow for more.